First contact and conflict. The darkness of uncharted space erupted with a flash of brilliant blue energy, where moments before there had been nothing but empty vacuum. Now hung the imposing silhouette of a spacecraft. The vessel's sleek, angular hull gleamed under the light of unfamiliar stars, its name emblazoned proudly along the side. Dauntless. Inside the bridge, Captain Ilara Chen steadied herself against her command chair as the ship's systems stabilized after the jump. At 38, with keen brown eyes and practical dark hair streaked with a single white lock, she'd earned her reputation as one of Earth's finest space commanders through a combination of brilliance and unwavering resolve. Quantum displacement drive stable, Captain, reported Lieutenant Maya Singh from her engineering console, her voice carrying the residual tension of their experimental jump. Power levels returning to nominal. Ilara nodded, scanning the data streaming across her displays. Status report, all sections. Commander Jackson Reed, her XO, looked up from his console. Ship integrity at 100%. All systems functioning. He paused, frowning at his readings. Captain, we're not at our calculated coordinates. Not even close, confirmed Lieutenant Commander Kenji Takahashi at navigation. According to stellar cartography, we're approximately 1,200 light-years off target. Ilara's expression remained calm, though her mind raced with implications. The Dauntless was humanity's most advanced deep space vessel, equipped with the experimental quantum displacement drive. This mission was meant to be a controlled test jump of 50 light-years. Instead, they'd traveled over 20 times that distance. Full sensor sweep, she ordered. Let's see where we've landed. The bridge crew worked in focused silence for several moments before Science Officer Dr. Sofia Novak gasped. Captain, I'm detecting multiple artificial structures in this system. Ant ships. Dozens of ships. Ilara moved to the main view screen as it displayed the sensor readings. The region of space around them buzzed with activity. Vessels of varying sizes and configurations moved in organized patterns between several orbital structures. My God, breathed Commander Reed. First contact. We've stumbled right into an inhabited system. Their technology signatures are diverse, Dr. Novak noted, excitement evident in her voice despite her scientific detachment. I'm reading at least 7 distinct design philosophies. This could be a multi-species civilization. Captain, called Communications Officer Lieutenant Weizhong urgently. 5 vessels have altered course. They're heading directly toward us. The main screen shifted to show 5 arrow-shaped craft approaching in tight formation. Though smaller than the Dauntless, they moved with practiced precision. Defensive posture, Ilara ordered calmly. Shields at maximum, but weapons systems on standby only. First contact protocols in effect. As the alien vessels closed the distance, the bridge crew maintained their disciplined focus, though the historic significance of this moment weighed on each of them. Humanity had long speculated about other intelligent life in the universe. Now they had their answer. They're scanning us, reported Dr. Novak. Multiple frequencies, very thorough. Let them look, Ilara said. We have nothing to hide. Lieutenant Zhang's console lit up with incoming signals. Captain, they're transmitting something. Audio and visual data streams, but nothing our systems can interpret yet. Send our first contact package, Ilara commanded. Universal mathematics, basic chemistry, peaceful intent graphics. Minutes passed in tense silence as the human ship and alien vessels faced each other across the void. Ilara studied the alien craft, noting their sleek design and what appeared to be weapon emplacements. Captain, Zhang called out, one of the ships is approaching closer. The lead vessel, with a hull that seemed to shimmer with iridescent patterns reminiscent of flowing water, advanced slowly toward the Dauntless. When it was merely 500 meters away, a brilliant beam of energy suddenly erupted from its bow, striking the human ship. The Dauntless shuddered under the impact. Shields holding at 92%, reported Defense Officer Lieutenant Commander Marcus Kane. That was a high-energy scan, not a weapon. Before Ilara could respond, all 5 alien ships suddenly pulsed with amber light along their hulls. "They're powering weapons systems," Kane warned, tension evident in his voice. Ilara leaned forward in her chair. "Are you certain?" Her question was answered as the lead alien ship fired a brilliant green energy beam that struck the Dauntless, causing the entire vessel to shudder violently. Warning indicators flashed across multiple stations. "Shields at 85%, Kane reported. "Definitely weapons fire this time. Why would they attack unprovoked?" Reed demanded, though he knew none of them had the answer. The alien vessels began to spread out, clearly maneuvering to surround the Dauntless. "Captain, they're trying to box us in," Takahashi observed. Ilara's mind raced through options. "Warning shots only, Mr. Kane. Demonstrate our capabilities without causing damage." The Dauntless's defensive systems activated, and precisely calculated energy pulses shot past the alien vessels, missing by mere meters, close enough to demonstrate accuracy but clearly intentional misses. Instead of backing down, the alien ships responded with coordinated fire. Multiple energy beams struck the Dauntless simultaneously. "Shields at 76%, Kane called out. "They're hitting harder." "Return fire," Ilara commanded, her voice hard but controlled. "Target weapon systems only. Disable, don't destroy." The Dauntless's advanced targeting systems locked onto the weapon emplacements of the alien vessels, and precision energy bursts struck 3 of the ships. 2 immediately spun away, their weapons apparently disabled, while the 3rd continued firing, though at reduced capacity. "Captain," Jean reported with surprise, "the pattern of their communications just changed completely. The signals increased by 300% after we returned fire." "They didn't expect us to be this capable," Dr. Novak suggested, analyzing the sensor data. "They might have thought we were an easy target." The main tactical display suddenly updated with alarming news. "Captain, more ships are incoming," Takahashi warned. "At least 20, approaching from the direction of that largest orbital structure." Ilara quickly assessed their situation. Outnumbered in unknown territory with no backup, this was rapidly becoming untenable. "We need to withdraw and reassess," she decided. "Mr. Takahashi, plot a course to that asteroid field at the edge of the system. We'll use it for cover while we determine our next move." The Dauntless pivoted sharply and accelerated away from the alien fleet, its advanced engines glowing with brilliant blue energy as they pushed to full power. "They're pursuing, but they can't match our speed," Reed noted with satisfaction as the tactical display showed the distance growing between them and their pursuers. As the human ship raced toward the safety of the dense asteroid field, the crew processed what had just occurred. Humanity's first contact with alien life had erupted into violence within minutes. Why did they attack us? Jean wondered aloud, voicing the question on everyone's mind. "I don't know," Ilara replied grimly, "but we just proved that one human ship can defend itself against several of theirs. Something tells me that's going to be significant in whatever comes next." The Dauntless slipped among the massive space rocks, its advanced sensors mapping safe passages through the debris field that its pursuers would find difficult to navigate. The ship's automated systems dimmed external lighting to minimize detection as they found a position surrounded by several larger asteroids. "Damage report," Ilara requested once they were secure in their hiding place. "Minor damage to the outer hull plating on decks 4 through 7, Singh reported. "Nothing critical. The quantum displacement drive is stable but needs at least 36 hours to recharge before another major jump." "So we're stuck here for now," Reed concluded. "Not stuck," Ilara corrected, gathering intelligence. "Dr. Novak, I want everything you can tell me about these aliens. Lieutenant Jung, keep working on decoding their communications, and I want our stealth drones deployed to monitor their activities." As the crew set to their tasks, Ilara stepped to the view screen, which now showed the distant lights of alien ships searching the edges of the asteroid field. In the span of an hour, Humanity had gone from theoretical discussions about first contact to fighting for survival against an alien coalition. Whatever their reasons, she said quietly to Commander Reed, we've just demonstrated that humanity won't be an easy conquest. Let's make sure they understand that before this is over. 2 hours later, the bridge crew gathered around the central holographic display as Dr. Novik presented her findings. Based on our drone surveillance and sensor readings, we're dealing with what appears to be a coalition of at least 7 distinct species, she explained, showing images of various alien vessels and biological readings. They operate with a unified command structure despite their physiological differences. The display shifted to show a massive orbital structure that resembled a flattened ring with numerous docking appendages extending outward. This appears to be their central command station in this region. Our drones have recorded significant communications traffic between this station and the fleet searching for us. This appears to be their central command station in this region. Our drones have recorded significant communications traffic between this station and the fleet searching for us. Lieutenant Zhang stepped forward. I've made progress decoding their standard communication protocols. It seems they use a unified language for interspecies communication, though each species also maintains their own native tongue. What have they been saying about us? Ilara asked. They're calling us the intruders, Zhang replied. From what I can translate, they're shocked by our technology level and combat capabilities. There appears to be significant debate about how to respond to our presence. Debate? Commander Reed asked. That suggests not all of them wanted to attack us. Zhang nodded. Correct. There seem to be multiple factions with different opinions on how to handle our arrival. Some are advocating for capture and study, others for immediate destruction, and a smaller group is arguing for attempted communication. So there might be potential allies, Ilara mused. Lieutenant Commander Kane frowned at the tactical display. Potential allies or not, they're assembling a much larger force. I count 32 vessels now, arranging themselves around the asteroid field. They're preparing for a full containment operation. Ilara studied the formation of alien ships with a tactician's eye. They were being methodical, patient, sealing off all potential escape vectors. How long until they can completely surround us? She asked. At their current deployment rate, less than 4 hours, Kane replied. Ilara tapped her fingers thoughtfully on the edge of the display. Then we have less than 4 hours to change the rules of engagement. Lieutenant Commander Takahashi, you've been analyzing their ship movements and tactics. What have you learned? The navigation officer highlighted several of the alien vessels on the display. Their coordination is excellent between ships of the same species, but there are noticeable delays in responses between different species vessels. Their formation priorities suggest they're accustomed to fighting enemies with similar or inferior technology, relying on overwhelming numbers rather than tactical innovation. A slow smile spread across Ilara's face, not one of humor, but of determined resolve. Then that's our advantage. They outnumber us, but we can outthink them. She straightened up, decision made. Here's what we're going to do. We're not going to wait to be surrounded. Instead, we're going to demonstrate exactly what one human ship is capable of when backed into a corner. And in doing so, we'll send a message to those factions who might be willing to talk instead of fight. The crew gathered closer as their captain outlined a daring plan that would either secure their survival or ensure their destruction. Remember, Ilara concluded, we're not here to start a war. We're here to end one before it truly begins. As the crew rushed to their stations to prepare, none of them realized that this moment would become legend in galactic history, the day when a single human ship decided to stand against an entire interstellar coalition, forever changing the balance of power among the stars. Turning the tide. The central chamber of the Galactic Coalition's High Council blazed with emergency lighting as representatives from 7 species argued vehemently. The massive circular room, designed to accommodate beings of vastly different physiologies, was filled to capacity. Some representatives hovered on gravity platforms, others sat in specialized environmental chambers, while the more humanoid species stood on raised platforms. High Counselor Thrix, an imposing figure with azure crystalline skin that captured and reflected light in hypnotic patterns, raised all four of his upper appendages for silence. The chamber gradually quieted. "We face an unprecedented situation," Thrix announced, his translator converting his harmonic speech into the Coalition's standard language. "An unknown vessel has appeared in Sector 47 and engaged with our patrol fleet." The main holographic display in the center of the chamber activated, showing detailed footage of the Dauntless during the brief but intense battle. The human ship's graceful movements and precise counterattacks looked almost choreographed compared to the Coalition vessel's more predictable tactics. "The patrol was defeated," asked a small, furry representative from the back rows, voice trembling. Fleet Commander Vrax, a massive being with thick gray-green scales and natural armor plates across his shoulders, stepped forward. The Draconians were known throughout the Coalition as their premier military force. "Not defeated," Vrax growled, mandibles clicking in agitation. "Our ships withdrew after the alien vessel demonstrated unexpected technological capabilities." The recording continued, showing the Dauntless absorbing the initial attacks, returning fire with surgical precision, then accelerating away at speeds that left the Coalition vessels far behind. "One ship," Vrax emphasized, striking his armored chest with a heavy fist. "One ship outmaneuvered 5 patrol vessels. Their shielding technology withstood our initial barrage. Their weapons disabled our systems without destroying our ships, and their propulsion." He shook his massive head in genuine concern. "Nothing in our fleet can move like that." The council erupted into alarmed conversations. Some representatives stood and shouted questions while others huddled with their advisors in frantic whispers. "Silence," Thrix commanded, and the noise gradually subsided. "We need facts, not panic. Science Advisor Killis, what have we learned about these aliens?" A slender being with pale blue skin and enormous lidless eyes stepped forward. The Solari were renowned for their scientific acumen and analytical abilities. "Very little, High Counselor," Killis admitted. "They appear to be oxygen breathers. Their ship uses an energy source we cannot identify. Most significantly, they appeared through what our sensors indicate was an artificially generated spatial fold, wormhole technology we have theorized but never achieved." Murmurs swept through the crowd once more. "Most concerning," Killis continued, "is that our universal translators could make no sense of their communications. Their thought patterns and language structure are unusual." Fleet Commander Vrax stepped forward again, his massive form casting shadows across the chamber floor. "The meaning is clear. These are dangerous invaders with advanced technology. We must respond with overwhelming force before more of their ships arrive." From the opposite side of the chamber, another representative rose. This was Ambassador Lyra of the Luminary, beings of semi-corporeal energy who had taken physical form. Her skin emanated a soft, calming glow as she spoke. "Violence is premature, Commander," Lyra said, her voice melodious yet firm. "They fired only after our patrol attacked. They disabled rather than destroyed our ships. These are not the actions of conquerors." "Then what are they?" Vrax demanded, tail lashing behind him. "Explorers, perhaps," Lyra suggested. "Possibly as surprised to find us as we were to find them." The council members looked back and forth between the warrior Vrax and the peaceful Lyra, the division among them apparent. An elder representative with mottled green skin raised a gnarled hand. "What if this is only the first ship? What if more follow?" Vrax nodded emphatically. "Exactly. We must capture this vessel, study their technology, and prepare our defenses." "But if they are peaceful," Lyra countered, "attacking them could provoke the very war we fear." "Look at their ship," Vrax retorted, pointing to the display. "Those are weapons designed for combat. They came prepared for conflict." The debate continued for nearly a full cycle as some council species sided with Vrax's military approach, while others supported Lyra's call for diplomatic contact. A small minority suggested simply avoiding the unknown ship and hoping it would leave Coalition space. Unknown to the Council, high in the ventilation system above the chamber, a small drone observed and recorded everything. About the size of a human hand, it hovered silently, its advanced stealth technology rendering it invisible to the Coalition's security systems. Back on the Dauntless, hidden deep within the asteroid field, Captain Ilara Chen and her bridge crew watched the Council meeting through the drone's secure feed. "So that's what we're dealing with," Ilara said quietly. "A federation of alien species, and they're terrified of us." "Not all of them," Lieutenant Zhang pointed out. "That glowing one, Lyra, she's arguing for peace. But the big reptilian is winning the argument," Lieutenant Commander Kane noted grimly. "And he wants our ship." On the Council display, Vrax was addressing the representatives again. "We know where they are hiding," the commander said with confidence. "I have already assembled a containment fleet. 32 ships are positioned to surround the asteroid field. We will capture this vessel and its crew for study. Then we will be prepared when more arrive." High Counselor Thrix looked around the chamber. "We will put it to a vote. Those in favor of Fleet Commander Vrax's containment plan." More than half the representatives indicated their approval. Those opposed. A smaller number voted with Ambassador Lyra. "The plan is approved," Thrix announced. "Fleet Commander Vrax, proceed with caution. We want the ship and its occupants intact for study."